Uber and Lyft shares tumble amid Waymos expansion plans. Shares of ride-hailing giants Uber and Lyft fell sharply in today's trading session, with Uber going down 3.3% and Lyft dropping 4.6%. The decline in stock value is attributed to a recent announcement by autonomous vehicle company Waymo, which is owned by Google, which revealed plans to expand its testing operations to 10 new cities by 2025, this year, including Las Vegas and San Diego. I'm moving to Las Vegas soon, and I'm not looking forward to that. I don't want to deal with this. This news, shared via a tweet and an exclusive article with The Verge, suggests that Waymo, owned by Alphabet, is not only increasing its footprint, but also challenging the current ride-hailing market with its autonomous vehicle technology. While the testing vehicles will be manually driven initially, right, even if they're manually driven, still a problem. You can argue that it's more of a problem, right? Like, drivers go on Facebook, Twitter all the time and complain, oh, stop showing your earnings. All you're going to do is convince people to become drivers and drive in your city. Here we have people who are going to drop, companies that are going to drop, let's just say 100 vehicles overnight in a new market. You don't think that that's something we should be worried about? Interesting. The operation could potentially lead to the launch of a commercial robotaxi service, intensifying competition for Uber and Lyft. Waymo's approach to these road trips is to assess how well its self-driving system can adapt to different environments, traffic patterns, and weather conditions. This is what they do. They launch a pilot in a city. It starts with people behind the wheel to make sure everything's going fine. They collect their data, and when they're comfortable, self-driving cars. This is the blueprint for what they have done and what they're going to do. Waymo's product manager for expansion efforts expressed interest in locations that will challenge their system, highlighting Las Vegas' unique traffic and street layout as a test for the company's adaptability. So smart that they're picking someone hard to start with, because if they can figure out a hard city, it'll make the easier cities easier. So it's a better value for their time. They'll run into more problems faster, and the faster they fix those problems, once they distribute more across America, maybe the world, they won't have to deal with as many problems because their system is smart enough to handle it already. So it's pretty smart. The market's reaction reflects concerns over the potential impact of Waymo's advancements on Uber and Lyft's business models. Both companies have invested in autonomous driving technology as part of their long-term strategies. Waymo's aggressive push into new markets signals a step closer to realizing a future where robotaxis could become mainstream. Waymo's plan to launch robotaxi operations in other cities such as Austin, Atlanta, and Miami further underscore the threat to the current ride-hailing services. So we have Vegas, San Diego, Miami, Atlanta, Austin. They're in Phoenix. They're in LA. I don't know if I said LA already. Last year's tests in various US cities focused on winter conditions, while this year's theme is generalizability, aiming to minimize the need for extensive testing before launching services in new locations. I just said that. They're focusing everything they have on a hard place so they don't have to do that when they go to easier places. I've not read this. My first time reading it. As Waymo sends fewer than 10 vehicles to each city for a couple of months, focusing on busy commercial districts, the company is also engaging with local officials to ensure a smooth testing phase. So 10 cars isn't crazy. While testing, they probably won't be eating into their market share too much, but they will be. Sometimes it takes humans a while to like accept something, and seeing these on the road, being beside them, is gonna create a smoother transition than if they were just to drop them all there all at once and probably cause some panic. But so we'll see how it goes. The goal is to gain enough experience to determine how well Waymo's vehicles can generalize their driving capabilities, particularly in terms of perception systems and local traffic nuances. The market movement today reflects investor sentiment that Waymo's progress could pose a significant challenge to Uber and Lyft as the autonomous vehicle landscape continues to evolve rapidly. So another thing I want to point out, with drivers who don't agree that there should be some concern for self-driving cars and like how it will reflect on your pay. If Wall Street is concerned, you should be concerned. Following the Wall Street trend is not a bad idea. If Wall Street is losing faith over Uber and Lyft because they're having competition from self-driving cars, you should be aware of that. Even Uber is aware of that, which is why they've said that they want to be a partner for self-driving cars. Again, not making that up. Did not make that up. And I'm going to co-sign it with the fact. Uber wants self-driving cars on their platform. We already see this in Philadelphia, right? Waymo does have their own app. Some cities just use the Waymo app. I said Philadelphia. I meant to say Phoenix. Phoenix, you get a Waymo through Uber, right? So both Uber and Lyft have actually came out and said that they're planning to partner specifically with different self-driving cars. A dedicated number of WeRide vehicles will be made available to consumers using the Uber app. After launch, when a rider requests paying qualifications to the app, they may presented with the option to have their trip fulfilled by WeRide autonomous vehicles. Uber wants to be the hub where these different companies, Uber even said that when Tesla launches their self-driving car platform, it would be great if they could work together. Self-driving, Tesla, Uber. CEO quote. Uber CEO Dara has said that he would like to partner with Tesla on robotaxis, but that he has doubts about Tesla's plans, right? It's smart for Tesla to do their own thing. Uber understands the threat, and Uber wants these people to be incorporated into their platform so they can get their cut. But some of these platforms don't want to do it that way. So Uber understands this. Wall Street understands this. Google, who's investing money into this project, thinks it's viable, understands this. Why are we, the biggest group that will be impacted by this, not grasping this or choosing not to believe it? I don't know. Absolutely insane. Maybe, I don't know. Let's go back to the article. So that's, yeah, just be careful where you're putting your money. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, but what I would do with my money is I would put it into the S&P 500 and that's it. I wouldn't be doing single stocks because things can turn in a second. So we're going to stick to self-driving car news for a little bit. Waymo is coming to LA freeways. We'll just watch the news on this one once this ad is over in about 10 seconds. Neolink says, I think if you have a full-time and having a sales job, of course, it depends on how you manage your time. First time, thanks to you, I may find the answer. Good. I think Uber and Lyft is a stepping stone into something better. I think people should use it that way. If you want to be a long-term driver, that's fine, but prepare your step. That's what I would say. So let's see what this is saying.
Says it will test its cars on some LA freeways, including on the freeway. Driverless cars on the freeway. Waymo says it will test its cars on some LA freeways, including the 10, the 110, 405, and 90. Those tests will use employees as passengers to start. Waymo does hope to eventually expand to the public. The Alphabet-owned company says using freeways could cut some trip times in half. Waymo has been doing these tests in San Francisco and Phoenix since August, and we know they're on surface streets.
And have had a great safety record. We really don't hear about any major problems with the Waymos, which is pretty amazing if you think about the technology.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I've not yet to try one of these myself,
money from travel blogging,
but I'm interested in it. And I feel like from what I've seen is people are apprehensive about it until they try it, and then they only want it, right? There are benefits and negatives to it, but I feel like it's only a matter of time. People are becoming more and more comfortable with this technology. They are safer, right? The problem is people want to know that if they get into an accident, it was their fault. And even if there's less of a chance of getting into an accident, people just want control. But statistically speaking, these things are safer.